Richard Mithoff's life is a great Texas story. This is a kid from El Paso who came and then conquered the whole legal profession and became one of the great lawyers in America.
And the more you get to know Richard, you realize what a good heart he has.
He's so bright, articulate, but is a giver. He cared about people.
Richard and I met when we started law school together. Richard was the same person then that he is now. He didn't have a decent haircut back in those days. None of us could afford to go to the barber. But he had the same infectious laugh, the same great sense of humor.
Richard Mithoff has been one of the most important graduates of his generation at the law school.
I mean, UT is where Richard the boy became Richard the man, and Richard the non-lawyer became Richard the lawyer.
Richard is probably one of the most professional lawyers I have ever met.
He's won cases of all types across the United States, and he's one of the elite and premier attorneys in our country.
He worked for people who couldn't help themselves. Handled a lot of cases for babies who were born with terrible birth defects because of medical negligence. He handled a medical malpractice case for a man who was operated on by a surgeon who was on drugs and was left with profound brain damage. And so Richard's legal career has been a search for justice. I mean, it's a wonderful accident, I guess, that the judge he worked for was named Justice.
He would often had a clerkship with William Wayne Justice, who is one of the most famous judges in the country.
I met him through Mr. Jamail, and he and Richard worked together in the same law firm. And Mr. Jamail didn't take you around people he didn't like. So when he brought Richard into his office and we sat down and started talking, you just check it off, Richard's okay.
Joe Jamail was a great firm believer in helping those who couldn't help themselves. Richard was pretty much the same way.
Richard and Ginni Mithoff are two of the greatest philanthropists in Texas.
He wants to leave this world a better place when he's gone.
You don't have to give your money when you make it. A lot of people keep it. A lot of people give it to their kids and family. And then there's this unique group that decides that they're going to help other people.
They endowed the Richard and Ginni Mithoff Pro Bono Program, which enables hundreds, thousands of students to spend time during their law school career helping out people who need it.
He represented Harris County and recovered a very sizable settlement. And under his contract, he was entitled to a fee worth millions. He never took it. He simply turned it back to Harris County and said, you can do more good with this than I can.
I mean, they're not just throwing cash around, they're deciding what's really, really important in their lives that they can help people in need and make lives better.
To me, the Distinguished Alumnus Award is about honoring people who are at the very top of whatever they do. That's Richard Mithoff. He's one of the great lawyers in America and one of the greatest friends this university's ever had.
He's given his time, he's given his passion, he's given his money in so many different ways.
I think this is probably going to mean as much to Richard than any other award he's ever received in his life.
In Richard's universe, the University of Texas looms large. And to be honored in this way by the university, it's something that he and his family will treasure.